What's good, man? It's your boy, correct there, 6989. I'm back with another video for y'all, man. As y'all know, Kevin Durant, he's a free agent. In the upcoming week or two, he will decide what team he's going to. He said July 7th, by then, before the Olympics start, he's going to decide what team he's going to. He has 6 meals, 6 different teams. One of those teams is the Los Angeles Clippers, the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks, the San Antonio Spurs, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Golden State Warriors. As you know, the Clippers, they're already a good team without him. The Clippers this season, they went 53-29. They were the 4th seed in the West. They lost in the second round to the Portland Trailblazers, but they lost because Chris Paul and Blake Griffin were injured. Their current roster right now is Chris Paul. They also have Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, JJ Redick, Jamal Crawford, Jeff Green, Austin Rivers, Cole Aldridge, Paul Pierce, Wesley Johnson, Mbada Mute, and this will round off the rest of the team. But the team, they lost to the Portland Trailblazers because Chris Paul and Blake Griffin were injured. But what if they had Kevin Durant? If we add Kevin Durant to this team looks damn near unstoppable. You would have Chris Paul at the point guard, JJ Redick at the shooting guard, Kevin at the small 4, Blake at the 4, and DeAndre Jordan rounded off at the 5. As you know, what number is Kevin Durant? He's number 35. So I'm like, it just makes sense. We're going to sim the first 35 games of the season to determine what the record would be of this team by the end of the season, whatever, right? We're going to sim the first 35 games of the season. But the Clippers were already a playoff team without Kevin Durant. They were an NBA championship contender without Kevin Durant. The only reason why they lost to the Portland Trailblazers in the first round was because Blake Griffin and Chris Paul got injured in the same game. Chris Paul, I think he broke his right hand, and Blake, he had knee injuries again. Because he's been battling that all season. So that's the reason why the Clippers lost in the first round to the Portland Trailblazers. As you can see, they're 20-4 right now. They're looking like they can't be beat. If they really had Kevin Durant, you already know the Clippers. They're a top market team. Kevin Durant, he's a big brand in the league. And the Clippers, they live where? They play where? In LA, right? LA and New York is one of the top markets in the world because it's a big city and they're known. But the stats for Kevin Durant would be this if they play for the Clippers: 26.6 points, 9.8 rebounds, 7.3 assists, 1.2 steals, and 2 blocks. That's pretty good. This team would be 31-4 through 35 games with Kevin Durant, which is damn near good. And I'm saying if they had him, I don't think they'll get him, but if they did get him, this team could win a championship. Second team he will be having a meeting with is the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat went 48-34. They were the 3rd team in the East, and they lost in the second round to the Toronto Raptors in 7 games. The current roster for them is Dwayne Wade, Hassan Whiteside, Chris Bosh, Luol Deng, Goran Dragic, Justice Winslow, Amari Stoudemire, and Joe Johnson. That is the top players on their team. But if they added Kevin Durant, this is what the team would look like. This team would be pretty good. And they're in the East, the weak East. They could go to the final. They could top Cleveland. They would have Goran Dragic at the 1, D Wade at the 2, Kevin Durant at the 3, Chris Bosh will be coming back from blood clots at the 4, and Hassan Whiteside if he re-signs with them at the 5, and Luol Deng, Amari Stoudemire, and Joe Johnson coming off the bench. This is a pretty good team. As you know, the Cleveland Cavaliers are the best team in the East right now. They're the team to beat. But if the Miami Heat could add Kevin Durant to this team, they could give Cleveland a fight. Feel me? I don't think they could. They probably could beat Cleveland. They really could. As you know, right now they're 8-1, and they're looking like they're gonna put up some sensational numbers, man. Dwayne Wade combined with Kevin Durant combined with Chris Bosh, the pick and roll on that team would be phenomenal. It will be LeBron 2.0 again. Remember when LeBron was in Miami? This is what I think this would be, 2.0 version of that. I really think they could give Cleveland a fight for that championship. I still think Cleveland would beat them because LeBron, he's just LeBron. He's too damn good. He's a bad man. That's what Stephen Neville said. He's a bad man. But they went 29-6. Just 2 games less than what the Clippers won. The Clippers went 31-4. So let's see his stats on the Miami Heat. He would average 23.3 points, 7.7 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 1.2 steals, and 1.5 blocks. Not the same kind of stats he had with the Clippers, but it's still a good team. I think the Clippers team would kind of be better for Kevin Durant, but as you know, it's harder to play in the West than it is in the East. So if he was to pick a team, he could go to the East because there's really no good teams besides the Cavs, Toronto, and that's about it. But if they added Kevin Durant, they could also win a championship. And the third team that he's choosing to go to is the New York Knicks, the Mecca, the Garden. Can he bring them a championship? The Knicks, they went 32-50. They didn't even make the play. They were 13th seed. They didn't even make the playoffs. Their current roster right now is Melo, Porzingis. They just got Derrick Rose, Aaron Aflalo, Derrick Williams, Lance Thomas, Kyle Quinn, Justin Holiday. This team is not that good already. Out of all the teams, the 6 teams that he's choosing to go to, he's having meetings with. I think the Knicks are the least favorite. Even though they have the Knicks, the Lakers and the Knicks have the biggest markets in the world. But I don't think he's going there. Oh yeah, the word on the street is if they get Kevin Durant, they will also get Dwight Howard. So you add Dwight Howard and Kevin Durant, that's a dynamic starting 5. Derrick Rose at the point. They would have KD at the shooting guard, 6'10 KD. Melo at the 3, Porzingis at the 4, and Dwight Howard at the 5. I'm talking about that's one of the best starting 5s in the league. But remember, you gotta have a bench also, and that bench will be horrific. I'm talking about that bench would be so trash. I don't even know what to do with them. So that's why I don't think he will go to the Knicks. But Knicks fans, there's always a chance. You feel me? You can still believe that he will go to your team, but I just cannot see Kevin Durant going to out of all the teams. Why would he go to the Knicks? He doesn't need the money. He already said himself he doesn't want the money. He wants to win a championship. And if he wants to win a championship, out of all 6 of these teams, he shouldn't go to the Knicks. He shouldn't go to the Knicks. Unless the Knicks can find a way to buffer up their bench and add some decent bench play. Because the starting 5, D Rose, him, Melo, Porzingis, Dwight Howard, that's a good starting 5. I made a mistake in Sim 36 games, but I'm gonna just say they went 22-13. I'm not gonna count that last L against them. We're gonna check Kevin Durant's stats for the season. What did he do with the Knicks? It's only one ball on the basketball court. Melo and D Rose, they both need the ball a lot. Kevin Durant, you see, he averaged only 20 points, 7.6 rebounds, 8 assists, and 1.6 steals and 1.5 blocks. So that's what I'm saying. The Knicks, there's only one ball on that team, and it'll be hard for him, Melo, and D Rose to share the ball. And Melo he's not a good team player. He's another Kobe. He's another Kobe. But another team, the 4th team that he's choosing to go to, having a meeting with, is the San Antonio Spurs. They're one of the best organizations in the league. There is no organization in the league that, in my eyes, that's better than San Antonio Spurs. They have Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, David West, Danny Green, Boban Marjanovic, Boris Diaw, Patty Mills, Andre Bill, and the rest of them. This is a deep squad. As you know, they went 67-15. They were the 2nd seed in the West. They lost in the 2nd round to the OKC Thunder in 6. If you add KD, the starting 5 is Tony Parker. Then you would have Kevin Durant at the 2, Kawhi Leonard, or you either one at the 2 or 3, LaMarcus Aldridge at the 4, and Tim Duncan. That is a good team. And the Spurs, they're not like the Knicks. They're not a selfish team. They pass the ball. Them and the Warriors have the best ball movement in the league, hands down. Plus, you would have one of the greatest coaches to ever coach, Greg Popovich. Plus, you live in San Antonio. The media, it won't be as much pressure on him in San Antonio because the Spurs have already won. Their organization is a top organization in the league. As you can see, they're 15-4 right now. It's looking like they doing damn near good. The top record right now is the Clippers, 31-4. But I think the Spurs, they could break it. The Spurs, bro, if he goes to the Spurs, him in LA, Tim Duncan is still on the team. Kawhi Leonard is one of the best defensive players in the league. Tony Parker is still one of the top 15 point guards in the league. So let's look at the stats. I don't expect him to average. Look at it. He's not even the leading scorer on the team. 17 points, 6.5 assists, 6.5 rebounds, my bad. 5.5 assists, almost a steal, and almost had 1.5 blocks. Like I said, I don't expect him to even lead the team in a lot of things because it's the Spurs. They're a team. They're a team oriented team. They're not about individuals. They're not about 1v1s and all that. So I said that's what I'm thinking. If he goes to the Spurs, the ball movement on this team would be sensational. Kevin Durant he wouldn't even have to play a lot of minutes, and he would be ready for the playoffs. And I think out of all the teams, besides the Warriors, probably this is one of the teams that he had the best chances to win a championship on. The fifth team that he's gonna have a meeting with is the Oklahoma City Thunder, aka his current team. They went 55 and 27. They were the third seed in the West, and they lost to Golden State Warriors in this conference finals. They were one game away from the finals, 48 minutes. Their current team is Russell Westbrook, they Kevin Durant, Enes Kanter. They just acquired Victor Oladipo, Steven Adams, Andre Robertson, Ilyasova, Dion Waiters, and Cameron Payne. This is a pretty good team. If he re-signs the team, it's already a good team. They're a really good team. So I'm going to simulate the first 35 games. Like I said, the Oklahoma City Thunder were one game, 48 minutes away from the NBA Finals. If they didn't have a turnover here and there, if Steph Curry doesn't make this shot, if Klay doesn't go off games 5, 6, and 7, we could have seen Oklahoma City Thunder, Choklahoma City Thunder, and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Final. Let me stop. They're not choking anymore. I'm not gonna put that on them no more. But they could have easily went to the finals. And as you can see, they're not doing as good as I expected. I would have expected this team to just do sensational, man. They went 23 and 12, but that's dumb, man. As you know, I'm gonna go check the stats. And you know, Kevin Durant always has phenomenal stats on the Thunder. He averaged 27 points, 8.6 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 1.2 steals, and 1.5 blocks. This team is already a good team, but if you add Victor, they needed a two guard. They added Victor Oladipo. They traded Serge Ibaka away. That will hurt the defense. But I think this is one of the good and best fits for him to stay on because he already built this team up. The sixth and final team that he's having a meeting with is the Golden State Warriors. As we all know, the Golden State Warriors went 73 and 9. They had the best record in NBA history. They're the first seed in the West. They lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals in 7 games. Their current roster right now without Kevin Durant is Steph Curry, Klay, Draymond, Iggy, Bogut, Sean Livingston, Mo Spates, and Varejao. In order for them to get Kevin Durant, they gotta let Harrison Barnes and Festus Ezeli go. They cannot sign them. So if you add Kevin Durant to this team, I think this could be one of the best offensive teams in the league ever. And I'm not even over exaggerating. This could be one of the best teams ever. They already went 73 and 9 without Kevin Durant. Imagine if they get Kevin Durant. This team could do things they didn't even do last year. Obviously, they're smart enough this year, so they're not going to chase regular season records because that's one of the reasons why they lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were so tired. They were chasing the record. But this season, if they had Kevin Durant, they wouldn't chase the record. They would be smart like the Spurs and sit your players out the last week or two. Give them rest for the playoffs. Because the playoffs is what matters. The regular season doesn't mean nothing. Like Scottie Pippen said, 73 and 9 ain't a thing without the ring. You feel me? It don't mean nothing without the ring. So I don't think they would chase the regular season stats. As you can see, they went 31 and 4. The best record, just like the Clippers. In the stats for this team, Kevin Durant went off 29 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and 1.5 blocks. Klay had 26.6. Steph had 25. I'm talking about this could be one of the best offensive teams in the league. Out of all 6 teams, I think this team has the best chance to win the championship out of every team. Doesn't mean that's the team he's going to, but this is the team that has the best chance for him to win. In my opinion, I want him to go to the Warriors. If he goes to the Warriors, it would be like LeBron going to going to the Miami Heat. He would be so hated, the league, but that's when the league. And I've evaluated each and every team. And out of all 6 teams, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks, the San Antonio Spurs, Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Golden State Warriors, I believe he will re-sign with the Oklahoma City Thunder. It just makes sense. He built that team from the bottom. And they were so close to going to the finals, it doesn't make no sense for him to leave. I believe Kevin Durant will sign a 2-year deal and opt out after next season because him and Westbrook will both be free agents. And when they're both free agents, that's why Oklahoma City Thunder signed Victor Oladipo because they don't know if Kevin Durant will leave. So we're gonna sim one whole season with Kevin Durant and this team, and we're gonna see what they can do. So in the 2016-17 season, Kevin Durant was the most valuable player, averaging 30 points, 9 rebounds, 7.4 assists, 1.5 steals, and 1.6 blocks. He shot 50% from the field, 93 from the free throw, my bad, and 37 from the three. Ben Simmons was the rookie of the year. Brandon Knight was the sixth man. Defensive player was DeAndre Jordan. Most improved was CJ McCollum, and they went 65 and 17. We're gonna simulate we're gonna simulate the playoffs and see can the Oklahoma City Thunder win the championship? Because I believe if they don't win the championship this year, Kevin Durant will leave. He will leave, and I don't know what team he's going to. Hopefully, he goes to Golden State Warriors. I want to see that happen. But if they don't win a championship this year, 2016-17 season, I can literally see Kevin Durant going. As you can see, they're in the NBA Finals against the Chicago Bulls. I don't know how they lost. In real life, they went against the Bulls in the finals. They would beat them. But man, let's try to get 10 to 15 likes on this video. I would really appreciate that. If you're new to my YouTube, subscribe. And if go check out my Twitch also. It's the same thing as my YouTube and my gamer tag, CorrectDear6989. But man, this your boy Correct Dear 698. I'm out, man. For all my Spanish people, adios. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe if you're new, and I'm out, man.